My goodness.
Yo! How are you? How is everybody?
It looks like we've got a number of people here. So it's like I see Quebec mentioned. I see Lincoln, Nebraska, Barcelona. Got a number of people here. So it's like, yep. Who am I mirroring through? Now I've got Los Angeles,
Tennessee,
Sapporo,
Belgium.
Japan, New Hampshire. My
So
goodness.
are we good? We all ready for the next 6-hour demo? Let's never do that again. Let's I still haven't recovered from the last one.
Please no.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, so oh, Barron's Court. There we go. Got one there. That's London, central
Texas.
London, almost. Florida, awesome. South of heaven.
South of heaven, Sean.
Yeah.
Slayer.
Okay, so shall I get started?
Well, I mean, we could advance a little bit, but it's just
okay.
I mean, how about we just say, goodness, it's been a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
It's been a lot of work.
I think we've certainly the biggest update we've ever done, with the most, if you like, fun plugins, I think, in terms of actual impacting people easily and easy to get to grips with. So I suppose I'll do a little summary of what we've got included in a minute, but obviously one of the things to say is obviously the last demo was immensely long. I think we planned on, we thought we'd end up doing about 4 or 5 hours. We ended up doing 6 hours, but we showed obviously stacks of features. This one is going to be significantly shorter by, it'll be 1/6, basically an hour is what we're planning. We will be showing a few new features as usual, unplanned, things we've put in.
I mean, it's one of those things. New features, yes. I mean, it's not like new. These are just some features. These are some features that maybe you didn't notice, or wasn't a call out. Certainly wasn't something that. And I will tell this: it's one of those things that I've had a number of people, quite a number of people, coming back from LightWave 7, LightWave 8, LightWave 9, and there's a few things now that are literally part of the install that they may not be familiar with. So we'll touch on some of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do a little rundown of what's in LightWave 6. So first of all, obviously we're launching it tomorrow as opposed to today. So you should have it in your accounts. It might be late tonight. Chances are it'll be tomorrow. We're just fixing, actually not fixing things, we're just basically building it at the moment. So
yeah,
it's ready. Yeah. There's a few little bits and bobs just we've got to get right, but fundamentally it's there. So we have included in LightWave 2026, we've got Ripper 2, Gaussian splats for Octane, so you can view them in LightWave, but actually see the full Gaussian splat obviously in Octane. We've got Motor Rig, Thor, Snow, Advanced Placement, Asset Browser, which is amazing, and we've actually done quite a few fixes on that in the last few weeks. Window Node, Fillet Tool, Fracture, Ocean, Spiderweb, the camera tracker, both 2D and 3D. That's now actually being used by a couple of people in full productions, and I've seen some of the shots they're doing with it. Unbelievable. And the really cool thing is, it's proving to be as good, if not better in some circumstances, than standalone trackers. So really, really great work there by Sean. He stayed up for at least half an hour to get those done, and actually weeks of work to get that done. Octane, obviously massive amount of updates to Octane. It brings us right up to date. There's a few functions which haven't been included because they're already in LightWave, but fundamentally it's up to date. Loads and loads of the new textures and things of that nature in there. Bend to curve, advanced bevel, fiber effects, actually quite a few fixes of that in the last few days, which is great. LightWave to Godot, construct, but with the curved stairs have been added. GLTF, again, that's been worked up over the last few weeks, sort of a few bugs fixed, etc. USD, Ivy, the Ivy tool's great. Poly reduction tools, the Atlas tool, Texture Baker. There is a mask tool that was created really for the 3D trackers and the 2D trackers, which was working, then wasn't working. It's now working. So that's had a bit of work done on it by Sean. Is working great. So a couple of things. Just wanted to talk about the open beta. That's gone down. I think it's been both fun for the people helping us, but it's actually been incredibly useful for us too. We planned on doing it for previous versions, and for mainly due to lateness of delivery of stuff and general workload, it was hard to get that to work. It has been immensely valuable to us this time. Over 140. Now, I would like to say bug fixes, but it wasn't just bug fixes. It was really major impacts on the plugins where it's improved it. Getting feedback has helped massively. But at 140 major impacts on the new feature list created from the open beta. Cannot thank anybody enough. I think absolutely fantastic what everybody did on that, and so much so I think we'll continue that. So obviously we're going to be releasing 2026. There will be a 2026.1. In fact, it's already being worked on, the first patch. So that will go into the accounts when that's ready. And if everybody can continue doing the open beta sort of testing on those builds, that would be really useful to us and immensely powerful for us, I think. So on top of that, just really wanted to talk through what the 140, some of the really big impacts it had. It had some big impacts on Ripper 2, some major improvements that helped massively. Motor rig, Thor, advanced placement, the asset browser, some things that we just didn't think about have been added because of obviously the open beta. Fracture, again, that's had some really good features added or adjustments added, which have helped. Ocean, fiber effects was working really well, but there were some things we just hadn't thought about, and they've been fixed and added to, really working great. GLTF, IV, obviously the mask tool, just to name a few. It really has been I'm so pleased and so thankful for everybody in the community for helping. And what is more, it's been unbelievably positive by the people who've been involved with it, and it's been exceptionally good. That's been obviously handled on Discord, on the beta area of the Discord bit. If we can continue that, I'd be really pleased if that can continue as we go forward. So just remember, 26 isn't the last build, it's the first build. There's going to be a 26.1, and there are some other features we're going to be adding over the next few months to take that further, which we just haven't finished yet. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. There's been some actually, is this right, Sean? I think there's been some was it fixes to Motion Mixer as well done? I can't remember, but I think there was something done with that.
You're thinking Morph Mixer.
Oh, Morph Mixer. I'm sorry. Yeah, Morph Mixer. And also the motion blur vectors have been fixed. So that was one of those things which was not working when we bought it. We fixed it. We broke it in 24 and didn't realize we'd broken it, and now it's fixed again. It's working great. So that's a biggie. So that's really cool. We've got a tool in there which we're going to show a little later on, which is Lightree, and it's a really big deal for if anybody's putting a shed load of lights into a scene. I cannot describe the difference in terms of speed increase that's going to make to people using that new tool. It's fantastic. Yeah, and again,
I'll be showing that.
Yeah, so we'll definitely be doing that. And so I think that's kind of covered it. So obviously open beta, just again, I can't thank you enough for that. So things we're going to be showing in this tonight's session. So we're going to do.
Hang on, real quick, right there, Andy. Hang on.
Yeah, sure.
What I want to do here, real quick, before this gets just totally away from me, I want to pick up a couple of questions that have been hit in the chat so that I can pull this up real quick. So first and foremost, Octane Studio. Let me reiterate the way we deal with Octane Studio, and this is Octane Studio Plus. This is not the Prime that ships with LightWave. Studio Plus, which is the one that allows you to use multiple machines, multiple cards, this, that, and the other. That, by our agreement with Otoy, that is distributed by Otoy. So because it's well, basically you pay, that's the paid thing. So because that comes from Otoy, I will be sending our most recent build of Octane Studio Plus to Otoy. They will run it through their quick little test and put it on their website for distribution. Okay, so that's the way that works. So, but bear in mind and fully realize that this is tested along with our internal testing and everything else. So that should be, just a drop in, shouldn't be any issue at all. Otoy will release that. So let me touch on this. 2505 will release at the same time as 26. I have it ready to go. It'll be dropped in and it will be put alongside. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do, and this was a thing that everyone seemed to really appreciate in the open beta, we have it now. The open beta helped us test it. We can now put multiple versions in people's accounts. So one of the things that I will be doing is, in addition to releasing 2505, is I will be putting the links for 25, 2501, 2502, 2503, 04, and 05 into your accounts. So anyone who just, who gets it and needs to maybe roll back a version for whatever, they'll be able to. But the test went great in open beta, and so we'll be doing that from this point forward. Let me pop this up. Linux, yes, Linux is still planned. You have to understand that Linux is its own animal. It's its own beast. We do have things working internally to try to move that forward as we can, but it is one of those things that during any kind of bug fix or feature push like what we did for 26, the things like Windows and Mac have to take precedence. So yes, we still have it in works. It's still in planning, and we're researching several different approaches. It's just not ready yet. But yes, we are still planning to do this. Let me see if there's anything.
Just a thing on AI very quickly.
Yes,
Meshy. We are finishing a Meshy AI plugin that's going to be probably in patch 2, maybe. So there is Meshy AI going to be directly in the LightWave interface, and you get a load of free bits when you get that, sign up for that, which means you can use it straight away. But obviously, you're using it extensively, you'll have to pay them for that. But that is going to be there. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay, let me make a mention here. Anti-alias and adaptive sub, absolutely, they're fixed. They're in the current release, and that will be rolled in. That will be in the release of 26. So let's see. I'm seeing questions here based on VDB motion. I guess that's MB. What would MB fog VDB fixes? I'm not I mean, there's a lot of work on VDBs that's going on in house. UV transfer VDB fixes. These are some specifics. It's one of those things that we're working on our VDB tool set even now. So not sure when when any motion blur in VDB is. That's thank you, Kelly. I'm not 100% sure on that. I would need to actually check. But it's one of those things that, like I say, everything is moving forward with the VDB on a number of fronts, and hopefully that'll get there. Now, the vector blur, the motion vector blur, Andy made mention of that we did fix. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna. Okay, goodness, this is just coming quick and quick. So educational version will be available as soon as 26 itself releases. So when we get that into people's accounts, the educational version will be available, the trial version will be available, everything else along that line. FiberFX 2 is actually in 2026 now. It has been in open beta, and we have a number of fixes that addresses things like UVs and octane and several other things. So you have to understand that FiberFX 2 is not necessarily a completely a plugin on its own. It's a core level rework. So that's what that's what FiberFX 2 deals with. So
yeah, and it's an ongoing thing, isn't it? FiberFX 2. It's kind of the core elements are things that will speed up and improve it straight away, but there are other things coming that will improve it further. We just haven't got there with those things yet. So,
and one last one here before I just throw it back to what our actual schedule was. Any news on the LightWave curriculum? Myself, I've heard that that's almost there, I want to say. But well, there you go. And there is more training coming now that 2026 is set feature wise. So I expect to see a lot of tutorials, and I think we're going to even be doing some ourselves, and even doing some potential like tutorial shows where we focus on a feature and try to answer questions and things like that. So
yeah, that will be like last year, really, when we launched. I think every couple of weeks, varied, but we did basically a demonstration of a couple of features every few weeks and went right the way through them. Do the same again.
And one thing, this just occurred to me, and I want to make mention of it aloud.
Yeah.
I've gotten a number of emails on questions about the my license is running out. I don't understand. I bought the perpetual license. Okay. It's because it was beta, everybody. Open beta we typically do with a time limited license. And that's what open beta was. When 26 releases into your account, it will be the permanent, and you will get a permanent license key from that point on. So just understand that that's why your license is timing out because you had a beta version. Don't worry. And it's one of those things too, that what I'll be doing is I'll be stripping out all the open beta builds because there's no reason to have it, and you're not going to have a license that will run it anyway. So we'll clear everybody's account. You will have LightWave 2026. Thank you very much, and moving forward. So hope that answers the license question that I seem to be getting a lot of.
Yeah. So are we good? So I think
we're good. And we'll get back to Sean's Muppet.
Yeah, just before again, just obviously I'd covered the quantitative features, but I think if you take all the ones that are in Octane, there's 50 new features inside LightWave in total. So it's obviously some of those are just textures and things of that nature, but it's an awful lot of new features to play with. Some of them you're going to just have so much fun with. And all those guys on the beta list, I think, have had a lot of fun with a lot of the new features. So everybody who's just about to get their 26 weren't on the open beta, but are going to get 26. You're going to have, it's going to be so much fun for you to play with, and so many cool features in there. Okay, so things we're going to do tonight. So we're going to be just showing some of the improvements and updates to the asset browser, Surface Baker. Surface baking is one of those things that will speed up your rendering and workflow. So it's a really good thing for us to show you. We're going to show Light Tree, seamless textures, we're going to show you Chronosculpt, a little bit on Chronosculpt. We'll do a whole session on that at some stage. Spline Bridge, simply there's been some improvements to that, which we just want to show you. We're going to try to show you the mask tool as well, and also cable, because cable is kind of cool, and we just want to show that. So, and I don't think we've demoed. Well, I think we may have demoed maybe a very early version of it, but it hasn't been demoed for quite a while.
Well,
so
it's also gotten some new stuff in it. It's gotten some new stuff in it, I think, since if we did or have done in the past a demo of it, there's a lot of new stuff in it now. So
yeah,
it's worth a revisit.
And I think that's going to be the case. I think when we, over the next few weeks, when we start showing some of the features off in more detail, again, a lot massive improvements from when we first demoed it. So if any of you are watching the online demos from the previous demos we did, and especially the 6-hour one, which I think has been cut down into small chunks, oh, thank the Lord, that one has got loads of stuff in it where the interface has improved and has it changed and so on. So we'll show those again, and with the new interfaces and give some demos of that. So I think kind of we're ready to go. I don't know what we're going to start with. So we really should have one of those spin things where you spin it and see what we do next. So it's okay. So who wants to go first, my friends? I
think Sean's pointing at me.
Quick enough, and it's juice it is. Right, okay. So,
all right,
so
let me,
what do you want to have a play with?
Well, hang on.
Let me. Light Tree, no? Light Tree?
Sure, I'll do that. Absolutely.
I love Light Tree. Sorry, but I kind of volunteered you for that. That's terrible of me. I don't feel guilty at all, but I just thought I'd, apologize at the same time. So.
Yeah, so let me just get a couple of things here. I have to adjust now for sharing. So.
Have we mentioned Ben Vost is in his underwear watching this because it's so hot? Did I say that publicly? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe we could get Ben on a feed and check it. No, none of us need that, do we? None of us. No one needs that. That's,
so there we go. There we go. Goodly. All right. Let me go ahead and save. All right. And let's add that to stage. So what I'm just going to load in now, this is one of those things. This is one of those bits. What? So I'm loading up a scene here. Now, this is a scene that has, let's see, can I move this? I need to move this. There we go. This scene, let me just pull up the statistics. This scene has 1,836 lights in it. So this is like a refinery. So we're looking at like a flyover type thing of a refinery with all kinds of lights in it. No, certainly a huge number. And what I want to call attention to is I'm going to be starting off this. Let me just pull up a few little things. So what we're doing is no multiplier of the radius, no adaptive sampling. This is just straight samples, and that's where we are. So just this, and I'm going to hit F9. Now, one of the things you'll see is this thing drives down and goes and starts trying to work. So what it's doing is it's having to now deal with those 1,800 lights in this scene. I will tell you, as I keep, allowing it to work here, I let this render, and it took an hour on my computer.
And that's without AA.
As you can see, this with 2,000 frames, this would take quite the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on use light tree. So this is a new scene-based complete scene setting. And that's all I did. I just turned that on. Let me hit render. And oh goodness. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I think I can. So this is one of those things that it's again, you're not going to see a huge difference if you are only working with 10 lights, 15 lights. But if you're doing an architectural visualization and you have um, you know thousands of lights, I can tell you you're going to be using this feature, because seriously, there's just no way to do any kind of serious work.
In fact, if I remember right, when a light is close up, it samples normally.
I believe that's correct. I'd have to get I'd have to sit down with the doctor in order to really fully understand, everything. But this is, I mean, when you're dealing with just thousands of lights, and I know that the potential's there. It's one of those things that if you're talking about an hour or a minute, I'm definitely going to go for the minute. I think I can do some anti-aliasing and stuff to clean it up noise wise. So it is one of those things that you're not going to you are going to have to do some tweaking to get uh, noise adjusted. I don't think I'm looking at the chat. It's not a light instance. Again,
No.
I'm going to try to get a really good descriptive of it. I'll get that to Ben, get that into the documentation so that it's clear of what it is. For me, it's the make thousands of lights possible to render button. I mean, without it, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to have to do, you're going to have to find some other workaround. So that is Light Tree. That is what this is. It's in 26 now. When you get the full release, you will you'll have that in there.
Just a quick question. I'm only asking because I don't know whether we got time to do it or not, but I think we did it. It looked to me when you loaded up the scene, but it might have been part of the scene file. Have we got the default now with the triangle and
No, sadly, that's now that's something I can try to work into a patch, but it's one of those things that what with everything else, it just I was not able to get that in there.
No, okay. So just to explain what we're talking about, it's the new AA setup. We want to eventually have that within a couple of builds as the default system, so that anybody new coming into LightWave, that it works straight out the bat with the best anti-aliasing, without any extra thought. So that's what we're trying to do. So we will sort that out.
The question with does it work with D-Spike? Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things that what this is this is your underlying base render, so that you can then work anti-aliasing, reconstruction filter, D-Spike, D-noise, and everything on top of it. It is one of those things that, straight away, it will be a noisy render. But the thing is that it's fast. So you can then add those, bits and pieces and tools on top to help smooth it out and make it cleaner and not send your render times into the multiple hours for a frame.
Yeah. So, it's a biggie, actually. It's one of those things that looks so simple. It's a little button, but fundamentally on scenes where you've got stacks and stacks of lights, it's going to make a huge difference. When architectural work, if you're doing sci-fi shows, I think Kelly mentioned there was 350 lights on was it the bridge of the Battlestar Galactica on its own, or something like that. Traditionally, those sort of ships will have, an effect, will have a stack of lights in, and it's going to make massive difference for those people. So yeah, really good, really. It's not a glamorous feature, but it's a fantastic feature, and I think when you combine that with the new anti-aliasing setup in there, it's going to make a massive difference to your internal LightWave renders. So it's good, very good. Okay, is that good, Juice? You done with that one?
I would say that's a good for that one. Do we want to? You want me to do something in a continue, or Sean, you want to do one?
Do you fancy doing one?
I can do one.
There we go. What are you going to do?
I need to share a screen, don't I? How do I do that? I can't remember.
I think it's the plus. Is it the plus sign? Or not?
It won't let me share.
Oh, first, are you presenting your screen? You have to click on present.
So you see where it says present over on the left-hand side, Sean, I think?
No, I don't see that. Well,
it's got to be down there at the bottom.
There it is. It's down at the bottom, yeah. Share screen.
I believe this works with all lights, animated or static. It doesn't matter.
Window.
Envelope, anything. Yeah.
And
that should be working.
Yes. I can now do the see, I have to remove mine, add yours, and now we'll do this.
Right, that's all I wanted to show.
Yeah, thanks. That's great.
Right. I'll pop it open first. And asset browser. As you probably notice, it actually opened full screen this time. That's something else I fixed because it just used to open up same size panel, all that sort of stuff. Where to start? Yeah, you've got a browse window this side now, which you can, if you don't want to see it, you can tuck it away, see everything, and bring it back. If you don't like the banner, you can kiss that goodbye. I will not be happy if you do that. Yeah, OpenVDB. I've been working on this. That's vastly improved display on that now. And yeah, we got basically different lighting controls. That's not a very good VDB, by the way. That's why it looks a bit rare, but it's a good demo. The other thing, GLBs. If I open one of these, yeah, let's open this one. Yep. Right, you probably notice the lighting on that. Another feature I've added. If you go to view settings, now got HDR backgrounds, which is actually lighting that. I don't know, you can see the green light on the side there from the green light there. Where's the yellow light gone? There it is. And yeah, obviously yellow light on the front, but you can also rotate that. So that's that improvement. And also you can get rid of that panel as well. Basically anything that obstructs you can minimize now with these little arrows. So there's that little improvement. Yeah, the quality of that's it's okay. I mean, a render would probably be better. We got different view modes, flat, which is still being lit by the back, but there's just no reflections. So that's also handy. Right mouse on here, you got generate thumbnails. I probably shouldn't have done that because it'd take forever. Actually, it didn't take it too bad. But that actually takes its settings from here. So if I turn that background back off, and close that and regenerate. And there we go, we're on a grid. So there's that. This has been improved as well. So you now got a back button. That's okay, that's ghosted. That shouldn't be, but let's not worry about it. Yeah, VDBs. This is probably a good one to demo, actually.
Real quick, Sean. Quick, Sean, so it doesn't get away from us. Real fast. For asset animated, does Asset Browser preview animations?
It does. I don't think I've actually got one in this folder. I'm a bit unprepared. I'm sorry. Basically, you normally have a render folder. it's actually
No,
fine.
I think as long as you saying it does, that's all good. So it doesn't matter if there's not something in there specifically, but don't worry, it's all good.
And then, is it what render engine is being used for the asset browser?
It's OpenGL. It is just that simple. Anyway, yeah, scenes. These are treated like folders. So if you want to see what's in this, you can click on there. It'll show the images it used, objects. You can double click on those.
So wait a minute, that was a scene file that you just clicked on for that?
That was a scene file, yeah.
How cool was that? Do that again. That is amazing.
Yeah, wait a minute, do that again, because I mean, so
Right.
So this is a scene file.
Scene file. Double click on it, and it will show the assets it's using.
It shows what assets. Okay, so how many times have we needed that?
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah.
This should work as well. You can generate the thumbnails for that folder as well.
So you can see the actual object.
I think it keeps it. It does. That's all right. I was getting a bit worried. So yeah, that's scenes. GLB is pretty much the same as the objects. You can view those as well. In fact, I did that, didn't I? LightWave objects. Again, you can generate thumbnails for those. Some of these ain't got any textures on. That's for what I'm going to show a bit later. Ignore those VDB errors. Yeah, it was funny that I was generating a VDB and it was not fully generated and there was a hole in the model. What else was there? Yeah, you obviously got the video player. VDBs, I'll be adding that so you can play back animated VDBs later as well. It will cache the images to memory so you can, as long as you don't rotate the VDB, it will cache it. Yeah.
And can you in this one? Is this in the asset browser? Can you do the resequencing and also compiling in here?
Yeah, that's where I was going to find a work folder actually, and I'm looking for LightWave. Actually, that might be good. Yeah, here we go. We got some renders in here. Yep. So, yeah, you got a little scrub bar here as well, so you can preview from the browser.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's.
The green bar, is it compiling?
Yeah, that's basically caching it to memory. Well, I mean, you can scrub while it's doing that. And yeah, once it's done, that'll play back nicely. And yeah, it'll actually play back at stupid rates as well, very cleanly. So I'm mashing this button like crazy because the text input's broke.
That's
great. You can see that is 73 frames per second, and it's clean.
Wow.
So yeah, it won't remember this setting by the way. That's actually set. The default.
And that, by the way, that's also the snow function. That's the snow tool, isn't it?
Yeah, and in here you got the rename sequence, which will enable you to renumber. It's like that one's got 3 digits. We hate that. We like 4. So set that to 4. That's your preview. That's what you originally was. Click OK on that, and done. Let's resequence that. Might get a bit funny here. No, it's updated. I'm not to fix that.
Quick question, Sean.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a JPEG sequence or PNG sequence.
Yeah.
Can it also handle EXR, which obviously they're much heavier files? Can it also do EXR?
Yeah, the original version I had, which was Python, did EXR. I've yet to bring that over because the the Python one enabled you to view layers as well. Render passes, but they're not what you expect to see, to be honest. So yeah,
still good. I mean, obviously EXRs on some jobs, but also PNGs are the vast majority, I think. But fantastic, love that.
And also you got the export to MP4 or MOV file. Yeah, you can run it in ProRes, which means you can you know, leave it with an alpha and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot in here. But yeah, it's trying to support multiple video file formats. So I've just stuck to MP4 and MOV files for now.
One real quick one, Sean, to allow you to at least get a breath. How to access the browser is actually it's got its own shortcut. It's launchable from the bin folder, but also we've put a link inside of Layout to launch it as well, because one of the things that it allows you to do is it will hook up, right? It'll hook up to Layout.
Yep, like this. I can send that. Why is it calling it an image? Okay, I can't spell. That actually says object. Okay, so you can send that, and it'll. It's now opening that. I probably clicked on the wrong one, really, but no. Okay, it's seeing it as an image. That's obviously something I need to fix. Sorry, but yeah, you can send objects, scenes. Oops, that's the wrong plugin. Yeah, I did that earlier and it worked, but yeah, say for example, I could resend, use a lower res one. Yeah, there we go, send objects. That's obviously not recognizing my file, and it sent.
There.
Oh wow!
It sent that straight to. And you can do that with scene files as well. You can right mouse click on a scene file and load it. So
that is cool, Sean. That's really good. So,
but the other thing as well is it'll when you import mega scans or anything like that, it'll sync them to the model presets and get them added there. Where are we? Yeah, okay. I've only got one preset in there, but have I got the plants? Yeah, ferns. And yeah, so basically it will create a preset in here. So you can then just double click on that and that'll bring it into the scene. In fact, let's do that. And there we go.
There it is. Yeah.
But that was actually created from inside the browser, which you can also do as well. You've got a button there, so you can browse them from here. So you've got the factory ones. These will be some of the presets that we put in. So if I go back, and then you got the libraries that are created, but difference is you click on here, you get a bigger thumbnail, and you've got to send a layout there as well. So that's mega scans or anything that's done with the LD presets. I don't think I've got nothing in that one. So yeah, what else is there? You got max trees. I think I've got that set up. I have, but I've never opened it, so it's going to take a little while because it's processing a lot of. It's basically scanning my max trees folder, which I'm not being funny is quite big, so it's going to take a little while for that to open. But yeah, that's the browser. And
it's so cool.
Yeah, but yeah, literally mega scans. You can browse them, browse the. If I downloaded with Quixel Bridge, you can download your whole library and browse your whole library and send it to model layout, and just convert it and get it ready to go. So yeah, that's asset browser.
It's really good, and I think that scene function is extraordinary. Well, I mean, also resequencing, compiling. I mean, so at the moment, I go to multiple different things, do different things. Resequencer, and the resequencer I've got is about 20 years old. So I go, do you know what I mean? To have it all in one place, and it's an icon on the desktop on the install. Fantastic! I love that, and very, very good indeed. Amazing, and I think everybody will, as they get used to that, everybody's going to be using that, I think. And
it's going to grow as well. There's so many little things I want to add to it. So like another feature that's missing is you're supposed to be able right mouse click on a video footage, and it'll go off and find the scene that rendered that footage, and put a little LightWave icon up in the top corner saying it's linked to that scene. So yeah, no more nightmares of what scene rendered that shot. You know, you just
we've all had that often.
Which is why I now use.
Especially with my filing system, and you guys know my filing system is shit. So it's so no, really good, very good. Okay, so that's the asset browser, which again, it's one of those. That's a hidden gem, really. It's one of those things that is doing so many things for you, and it's handling so many different formats. And we can add more formats and we can do more to it, and we will. But it's just what a fantastic thing to have it all in one place. Amazing. And you won't have to buy another couple of programs to do that. And currently you do. You have to, with whatever piece of software you're using. So that's a really fantastic thing to have included with LightWave as standard. I think brilliant. I don't think I'd ever realised that was there until you showed that just then. Amazing.
But it also loads FBX now as well. That was another ad recently.
Yeah.
Obviously not animated, not boned. It'll just show you the model. I'm not going to even go down the boned route. Get a little overcomplicated.
So I think someone just mentioned there they want the asset browser as a standalone tool, but actually, if you've got LightWave, it's installed as a separate icon. You can use it without using LightWave. You can use it
run it from the desktop. It's not
absolutely. Yeah, it's going to give you what you need. It is amazing. So, all right. So that's two. That's two we've done. That's good. I think probably a juice one now.
I got a real fast, easy one. Maybe I could just go into a couple, but what I want to show this because this is one of those that. Gosh, depending upon what kind of work you do, you run into this all the time. First, I'm going to use it as an excuse to show off something. A lot of people I know use these. I'm in layout and model tab and create geometry, and we've got these things when we got these standard bits. And one of the things is that when you create one of these. New now is you can have it automatically create a UV map. I'm just gonna, allude to that because that is so handy. That is so cool. But so little throwaway right there. So what I want to show is something that I get involved in often, and that is having to do with using seamless textures or what should be seamless textures, but then when you actually get to using them, they don't seem to be so seamless anymore. And so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to do this so that my colors will stay what I want them to be. So if I drop in an image, and I've already got some images loaded here, what I wanted to do first is pull up this one, planar Y, and I'm just going to drop this in here. This make it a little larger just so that we can immediately see it. So
you just I'm sorry if I interrupt, but I just remembered something about that plugin. It's got slave and master. Are you aware of that one?
I am, but I wasn't going to say it because that's not politically correct to talk about slaves and masters.
Okay, boss and employee.
We should rename that to boss and employee. So what this is you can see that this is indeed a seamless texture, but if you look at it, you're like, well, I really see it tiling. I see that. I mean, you can really quickly find that out. So this is the new seamless texture, and I'm just going to bring that same thing in as Y. Let's go to, I think that's what I did before, and drop that in, and now you see it does things to it so that it doesn't hold that same thing. So let's look at what we've got here. This has under seamless, we've got mapping, We've got our seamless so that we can look at grid displacement, random rotations, even edge, how we edge blend and variations. I can turn the tiling on. Some of this are kind of difficult to see with this particular image. So I actually have something here that will clearly show you what's happening. And this is just kind of wild. I mean, you wouldn't use this for this, but I don't know, maybe you would. It'd be a little weird, but it is one of those things that you throw those tiling things and you God, how many times I've dropped it in because it's seamless. It's not triplanar.
No, that's something else.
I think actually triplanar is different, isn't it, Sean?
It is. It's sort of blending over multiple coordinates, isn't it? Like you've got a blobby shape. The textures will blend over the different angles. So you give it 4 projection maps, and it'll blend between the 4. But yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, we could do with one of those. But
it would be different.
Incoming then, Jesus.
So that's why we're not calling it a triplanar node, because it really isn't. That's a different beast. But anyway, I just really fast I wanted to show this to you because I don't know that everyone had seen it, and I've started using this thing like crazy.
Think of exactly any scene. If you're doing an outside scene, how many times have you put stuff going off in the background and you see repeating textures, and that is going to remedy those things instantly. It's just fantastic. So
and I'll quickly explain the in fact, we didn't call it slave and master. We called it
we just called it settings.
Basically, if you say, for example, you've got a PBR texture that you want to tile all over the landscape, normally you'll have to jump in and change one, change the other, and then get all the others to match. This one, you just plug in the plug in the settings from one to the other, and it'll copy the settings from that one.
So if I had like this, right?
Yeah.
And I just did this.
Yep, I can't see that pin anymore.
Yeah, it's black. It's black against that gray.
I can see it, but
So now if I do one there, then this one I can't change it because it's inheriting the upstream.
It's an employee.
Yeah, it's an employee.
So you can
said it earlier on. If you're parent child is
right.
So basically, if that one of those could be a complete different texture for bump maps, and that means when you adjust the main one, which is your main texture, the bump map will also adjust as well. I think I ported this over to Octane as well. That same.
I want to say you did, but I would have to check it. But yes, that settings link is extremely handy.
Yeah, and I've patented it so no Blender user can nick it.
Yes, I mean, Martin, shocker. Yeah, I know. We just pointed that out, right? That the black lines are hard to see. I get it. I get it.
You prefer the darker background until you get a black line.
Down, you can't pick what color those pins are going to be. They're just randomly picked by LightWave. So we need to fix that, but we're working on it, and we're aware.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get it.
That truly is a hidden function, then. You can't see it and by the way, there's an HR flag for not using child parent. Just, I had to dig this out. I haven't used it for 2 years. No, it's I haven't looked at that plugin for months. I forgot we renamed it. Again, that's one of those. Very. It's one of those functions that people will overlook, but it's actually hugely beneficial to when you're putting together scenes where you have that. I mean, sometimes you want the texture to repeat when it's a floor tile, right? But when it's
I feel the need. Hang on one second. I feel the need to point something out, and this is just I because I don't know how many people are aware of things, right? So I have a folder here with a bunch of images in here. If I click and hold on this and drag it into the node editor, it gives me, asset is dropped into is an image file. How do you want me to apply it? How about an image? Yes, thank you. I'm just saying.
I didn't know you do that.
Oh my God! But that's the thing, right? It's one of those things we put in these workflows, and then we might not be aware that we hadn't told anyone about them. And I'm sorry for that. I really am. I truly am. But
I don't think we've ever demoed that. That's hilarious.
I know, right?
Because I know it's there, you know it's there. Sean didn't know it was there. Anyway, classic Arsville, isn't it?
I feel bad now because someone said, "Can you drag and drop from Asset Browser to that?"
And right, it's in the docs. But again, who again is one of those things. Who reads the documentation?
So Ben's got it in the docs. What we should do every few years is go back and hunt for the ones that we've forgotten and just relaunch them as new features. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, I have to highlight this because again, it's one of those things, I have a workflow that I follow and I rarely stray from it. Hey, preach. I'm right there with you. I remember, watching someone do a demo, and they were doing the demo, and he was using his workflow, and I saw someone ask the question, why didn't he do it this way? And it's like, well, he's been doing it for 20 plus years. That's his workflow, and that's what he's familiar with. So from time to time, it's good to look around and see what's been added and see if you can change your ways. I don't know.
It is true, though.
Can you quickly share my screen?
Blinkered.
Yeah. What do you got?
Is that sharing? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's from Asset Browser. I didn't know you could do this. Someone asked me. I said, no, I don't think I could do that. It's already there.
It's already there.
You can do it. Yeah.
I'll do that again.
So the Asset Browser. How cool is that?
Oh,
another feature you added, but you didn't even know you'd added. Right? That was.
Well, I didn't add that one, but
I
didn't drag and drop into Node editor. So yeah,
it's great.
Wow,
I love that.
It is one of those things. Again, Thomas, you're saying absolutely everything that I'm thinking. You just have sometimes just shut everything down, open up, and just kind of look through everything.
Yeah. There are literally thousands of features in there where we regularly go in and explain to each other, that does that. That does that in seconds, and just fantastic. Good fun. And
it is.
It's an amazing package, really. Okay, so that was very good. So seamless textures. And also, the Asset Browser, you can just drag the texture straight into the workflow. Genius. Right, okay. So that's fantastic. So let's do, I suppose it's a Sean time, isn't it? So Sean, do you want to do Surface Baker or do you want to do Mars Tool?
Yeah, I'll do Surface Baker. Actually, I'll show something else very quickly while I've got it open. I can't tell whether I'm sharing because I can't see the screen. There it is.
Yeah, you're sharing.
Yeah. I don't know how many times you guys got 3 objects and you want them in one. Well, you normally have to do that in Modeler. You don't have to anymore. So, yeah, if I just click OK on that, it's going to merge all those into one little object. Actually, it's not going to merge them into one object. It's going to merge them into one object with 3 layers. And there we go. If I open Scene Editor, merged. I don't know if you can see the semicolons there, which basically means this is one model. But yeah, very useful. It's kept the textures, which I'll point out, all got the same material name in the originals, and it's labeled them so you know which one came from where, rather than numbering them. I'm not being funny when you load FBXs and you've got a list of numbers like color 1, color 2, color 3. What are they from? Whereas this one, it'll remember it'll show the logo. Anyway, I thought I'd just quickly show that one. I think we just
another improvement added. Bang, fantastic.
Right, let's load a scene. Go away and bake. Right, I'm going to go over this quickly. I'm going to start right from scratch. So we got a high res model here, and we want to bake it to a low res. So first job, we run a poly reduction. So I've added quad mesh, which is a VDB. I'm going to do this at 2, which is not particularly detailed, and not going to do it transform, so it will do it exact same location. And bang, there's the VDB mesh. And it's missing UVs because VDBs don't do UVs, so we can run this one, and I'm going to call that baked. Whoops, I hit the caps key. And this is where we go for a little break, because I've no idea how long this is going to take to cook that UV.
I don't have like yakety sacks loaded up or anything like that.
No, it shouldn't take that long. There we go.
Yeah.
So that's now got a UV. I'm going to save it. Current object. Right, now texture baker. This is where it gets fun. I'm only going to do the color. I've already done a version of this with different maps. In fact, it's not going to be the same because it's different UV. In fact, I will do those. I won't bother. Well, yeah, you can literally bake the normal maps from that. Diffuse. I don't know what that's doing in there. That needs to go. So this is also uses. Am I looking at the right model? No, I'm not. Oh no, I'm baking 2. So yeah, sorry, this is my bad. There's no surfaces on there, so that was correct. So yeah, we're baking from one model to another. So we got the high res there, and we're currently selected the low res. That's why that's only showing those, because that's showing diffuse channels. Sorry, the standard shader channels. These ones down here, they're extras. We don't need normal. And we pick the UV down here. Oh, all those plugins I've just demoed are available in Modeler as well. So they run in Layout and Modeler. So yeah, you can do this in Modeler or you can do it in Layout. It's entirely up to you. Yep, that'll probably do. Click OK on that. And it's now baking the textures for that model.
While that's baking, Sean, real quick, poly reduction, what is it taking into account? Can we use geodata or maps to guide the reduction of polys?
No, it was actually originally written for use with Ivy and Thor to create a low-res version of it.
Like a collision object?
Yeah. So there's no real control how the model's sort of whittled down to a low res. It's not very advanced at all, really, but it's quick and easy. Yeah, okay, this is taking a bit longer than I thought because I think I left the one, didn't I? There we go. And if I load one, it should be. Yeah, I said about getting that wrong plugin loaded. I've done it again. It's an old version. Right, let's start again. Okay, let's delete that. I've obviously got a duplicate plugin in my folder, which is why that's showing on the wrong UV. But let's load the original object I did. It was number 5. There we go. Right. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to run the baker again, but I'm just going to bake the texture. Yeah, this is the one. So click OK on that. Sorry about that. I had a bit of a problem. I must have got a duplicate plugin in the folder, so it's.
That's right. Well, you're building and stuff, which you're going to have the odd anomaly. So don't worry about it, bud. It's all good.
But yeah, that UV map area you see here, that's long fixed. As you can see, this is one I did about an hour ago. And if I now go surface editor, let's see. Oh, it's texture on it, and you shouldn't see a difference. So it's literally transferred the map from that to that. It works with procedurals. So if you've got procedural textures on there, it will do those. I think. Oh no, I overwritten, didn't I? But yeah, you can. It'll bake the normal maps from that to that. Yeah, you're going to get these little black holes on this because this mesh didn't quite match, but you have got a setting here where you can dial in the distance, so probably to get rid of those black little gaps in the render is just up that a bit. But yeah, it does occlusion. It finds edges, so you can then use those textures to create nice edges like what you see on here. So yeah, that's the bake tool, and the wrong version of the UV map tool. I think that's funny.
I think the thing is, even with the poly reduction thing, that is, I know you're saying it's very simple, but quite often you're just needing to reduce background objects, or stuff that doesn't need to be high res in a scene. It doesn't need to be, necessarily the greatest thing in the world. It just needs to work and reduce and speed up, render time, right? So I think no, very good, and I love that. I love the baking tool. I think it's fantastic, and it's actually very comprehensive.
I think it's neat that it works in Modeler too.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, see, this is low res. If I was to do that on here, we'd be waiting for a very long time while it tries to collision detect all over the model. So the idea is, you could probably use a lower res modeler than that. You don't need it tight fitting, and that was the purpose of that tool. That will be. Oh, it is in there. Oh my God, I'm forgetting what I've done. So yeah, we're growing on this. You can click on there and create a very, very low res version. We'd use VDB again because that does work really quick. And there we go. We've got a low res version. We can grow our ivy on, placed over that. It's going to be fine. Anyway, that's that. I hand it over.
Yeah, actually, just very quickly, just in case anybody, because obviously you went through that pretty fast, but when you're doing the Ivy, you want to do proxy models that are lower res. And that's why Sean originally created the tool, so you can create those things super quick. So, there are times when you're going to have effectively two meshes. You've got the high res mesh. You don't want it growing on that, but hidden is the low res mesh, and that's what your Ivy's growing on. So that's what was the basis of those tools, and it's just fantastic because it pumps it out really quickly and it resolves your problem of speeding up the next process, in that particular case Ivy, but even if you're just doing background objects, etc., exceptionally useful. So that was very, very good, guys. I love that.
And someone's questioning, you can bake the text just itself. So if you've got two UV maps and you want to, say for example, a DAS model that's got multiple textures over multiple UVs, you can bake them all down to one UV map. So yeah, all the baking problems you normally get where you have to bake everything one step at a time, you can do with a couple of pushes of buttons and you're done. So yeah, it's a tool I know I'm going to use an awful lot.
And you can bake procedurals, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yes. No, I was going to say it was mentioned at the beginning of the demo, so it was very, yeah, absolutely. So okay, so we got we're going to do the hand up test, see who's the fastest, who's the slowest, who's pointing at who, and so on. So we have Chronoscope, I can't say it. Chronoscope, spline bridge, mast tool, and cable. So who's going to do on the wheel of fortune? Who's going to do the next demo?
The wheel of random.
Let's spin the. Yeah, so no, I think it's Juice's turn. It's Juice. What do you fancy? Spline bridge, or do you want to do the show a bit of Chronosculpt?
Let me do a quick Chronosculpt.
Awesome.
So let me do this here, because this is one of those things that people are gonna discover this little shortcut, and they're gonna be like, "What is this?" So let me just launch this real fast.
Can I just say something very quickly? Obviously, it took a while for us to get this done. Yes. Just saying, it was really difficult. So it was. But here it is. You know, it's good.
So, the main bits and the main pieces, the main things is it now works on 4K monitors. This is particularly, you know, I'm on a 4K monitor here, so I can actually read this stuff now. It uses the LightWave license, so there's no separate license for it. It's in the installer, so it's you know, straight away. It's on your desk. It's in your system. So I'm now going to say this, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hang on. I need to do this right now. So let me bring this back. Let me move me here so I can do this. Okay. Now that it's just you and me, I'm going to show Chronosculpt. Hold your feature requests, because I guarantee you our list is longer than yours. Okay? So I'm just saying, I mean, it is one of those things. And see, right there, right there.
Literally the question you were trying to navigate. Literally,
right there. Gosh darn it. It is one of those things. Trust me, guys. You know, currently, no, it's not hooked into. It's not hooked into the hub. Yes, we want to get it hooked into the hub. We want to do a number of things like this, but trust me, it was a lot of work to get it to this point. But what I just want to quickly show here is that for those who don't know, I'm just going to load in here. I'm going to load in this bridge. So this bridge here, I'll go to flat shade, back up. And so what I'm now going to do is the idea, the point of Chronosculpt is chrono being time, sculpt being, you know, modify.
I thought it meant old man. It's a bit of a chrono.
So here I can scrub through this demolition of this bridge. Obviously I can hit play to watch it. But the idea is this is a tool for coming in after the fact that you've done something, and you know, maybe you've got some things that you have a particular need for. So if I scrub around here, let me find just down to this point. I'll just do something real fast just to remind those who may have seen this before or forgotten about it. Like, say, for example, these little pieces down here, I don't want them to come, you know, too far because maybe I've got a character that wants to stand there. I don't know. Come up with your own reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find in here, I'll say to go to modify, and let's do a pin. And so I'm just going to pin these right here. And so now if I scrub this back, you see that they come in and they stop right there. Or maybe if I wanted it to stop here, I could just grab this whole this whole thing and slide just them around to find where I really want them to stop and say there. I can say ease in, ease out for that transition. And there we go. So this is for modifying MDD files, is for modifying, oh gosh, what are our, trying to remember myself, our cache, XML, MDD, include, Maya in cache. But additionally, what we can do is we can sculpt morphs over time. We can blend those together, save that MDD out, and then bring it back into LightWave. Yes, I know we want to take this through, and this is for modifying geometry. We're not modifying cameras. Okay, this is for sculpting geometry.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, I think if you obviously this is a solid geometry piece, but it could be a piece of cloth, and the cloth is pushing through the bonnet of a car, and you can just go in and lift that so that it doesn't go through the bonnet of the car, and then just save it back off, and it's done. It's corrected. So it's a perfect thing for editing cached files. So it means that cached files, which are normally rock solid and unadjustable, are now adjustable. So it's unbelievably powerful, and it's easy to use and super fast. It kind of has, one great job, and it does it really well. So it's you can blend things together. You can sort of change the speed of something. All things that you can't normally do with the cache files. So it's fantastic, and you can load in. I think it'll do OBJ stuff as well as LWO. You kind of work with most formats.
The whole idea. I see some discussion going on here. So the discussion there is talking about bringing in cameras for views. Okay. So here's the thing. The initial idea of this is that you would be working in LightWave. You would have something there. You've done your sim. You now launch up Chronosculpt, and it would bring your LightWave camera, and it would bring the object in. You could do your sculpting and then send it back. Currently, we just do load the object file, load the cached MDD, we make the modifications, and then we save it and send it back. So it's that same, well, we can bring a camera view into Modeler via the hub and that one view. So again, this is currently just bringing Chronosculpt to the point where we can use it again. As I stated, we have a raft of feature requests and things that we want to add to it, but we now, trust me, we've already thought of what you were going to ask. I'm telling you.
Just a quick simplification, really. How many times have you done a sim, cached it, and then realized something's clashing with something, or something just keeps on spinning,
on 3 frames or 4 frames, and it's like, oh my god,
my god, and then you have to try to do it again. Or it can be sometimes something goes down and doesn't stop moving, it starts oscillating, keeps going, and that can happen. So what you can do with this is go in and take it to a frame where you're happy with its stop motion, and then basically stop all the other motion after it so it doesn't oscillate anymore. Or you can go in and move something so it doesn't hit that particular position. Or even delete something if you need to delete something. So that's what it's for. It's for taking things that normally means you do 10 sims, and I can't tell you the amount of times you do a sim. It's basically 99.9% right. One bit's wrong, you do it again, and then the next time round it isn't as good, just doesn't look as fun, blah 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 blah. This means you take that sim that's at 99, load it into Chronosculpt, correct it, it's then 100%, and that's what it's for. It doesn't stop you still doing multiple sims, but it's pretty much, I'm pretty certain all of you have experienced at some point where you've done a great sim, and because you can't correct it, you then do another sim, and the next 10 sims you do are nowhere near as good. And sometimes you never get it as good. And this means you've got that ability to go and edit that, adjust it, and it's super powerful. And kind of one of the things we really were desperate to get it back to working again. But obviously the thing we'll next try to work on are adding things like the hub support and those sort of things.
We can actually sculpt. We can sculpt
Oh, yeah.
in it, but you can't add or subtract geometry. You can just, the sculpting tools is mainly for fixing deformations. You've done, you've got a bone that's doing bad things. You can paint a new morph, that type of stuff. And like I say, it is the foundation of a number of things that we want to bring. But we had to get it to the point where we could use it first. so now we can use it.
It caused a lot of pain, to be fair.
It really has. It really has.
I mean, just so everybody understands, a significant amount of the interior of that program has been entirely modified, entirely rewritten. All the libraries have been updated. So it's where it was, it worked, but it was old, but it didn't obviously adjust the screen size. It has actually been entirely modernized and updated. And of course now scales correctly. So it's a big achievement. It may look the same as the one you used, a long time ago, but it's actually better, faster, quicker in every way, and gives us more scope to do more with it long term. So we're actually mega pleased that we're giving you that capability. And for any of you who do sim work, honestly, you're going to love it. And I think vaguely remember, doesn't the sculpting that works over time as well, doesn't it? So you can do.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So
all of it's time based. That's kind of the power of it. Is everything is over time. So
But I would really recommend learning it and exploring it. You'll have fun. You're going to want more features, and obviously the hub connection. But but definitely you give it a go. It's so much fun. And once you've done a sim, blown something up and it's all crashed down, and you go in there for the first time to correct something, you'll then go, oh, that's why it's so cool, right? And so I can't recommend it enough. It's great.
I'm pleased that it's now part of LightWave. It's part of the thing, and it uses the same license, so there's no issues. It's just straight away. It's there and happy. I love that aspect.
It's really, a big deal. I mean, it is. I mean, we've been talking about it since day one. So, it was one of the things, we need to get this done. We will get this done. Yeah, we're getting it done. It should be ready this year. It went on. I've got a twitch because of it. And, but it is honestly, it's a big deal. And it's one of those things I used to use all the time, and I will now use again, because it's, just a fancy. You can just do stupid things. You can do something being hit and just breaking up into little bits, and then a physics sim on it, and a bit will go through a tire, or a bit will go through something you don't want it to go through. You just go in, correct it, perfect scene, thanks very much, move on. And it's a massive time saver. It is also for anybody who's also uses Maya. You can load Maya stuff into it as well and get it out. So it's whilst we've embedded it, it's included with LightWave install. It is actually useful across the board with any other packages you're using. So if you're in a pipeline with multiple software, it's highly usable for that. So again, I was going to say Houdini glibly, but if you were doing a simulation where you with another package and you need to correct it, again, it's there. You can use it. It's fantastic.
It's that thing. Anytime I look at something and I think to myself, oh, I'm going to have to do a sim.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's one of those things. Sean, how many sims do you have that are named try O1, try O2, try O2A, try O2B. You just know.
Save over them.
You save over them. I get to that point where I do a sim and I'm like, okay, I like that one. I like that one. I can come back to that. I can come back to that. I'll protect it. I'll protect it. Now I'll try again to try to get those last bits. And it's like, but you know, with chronoscoping, yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say, we did some things with the sugar cube with a cape a couple of years ago for one of the demos or something we were showing, and getting the cape not to have a corner of the cube go through it or something, you know, was a fairly constant nightmare for Sean when the pair of us were doing this animation. It was just like, oh my good God. So you end up, you know, move the camera to hide the error rather than sort out the actual problem. This is a prime example in character animation. You might have a, you know, the sleeve flapping on the wrist or a cape or a, you know, whatever. You just go in with the sim, correct it, done. Thank you very much. Render.
Correct. So correct the fake, and you're done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly usable across the board. It's amazing. I cannot recommend enough trying to get into it if you can. You know, have a play. You know, initially there'll be a few things which like, oh, how does this work? How does that work? But once you're into it, it is a lifesaver. It's an amazing.
And I will tell you right now, you get into it, and your feature list will start growing. Trust me, we know. Well, trust me, we know.
Actually, just bear in mind also, it used to be sold, remember, before we bought it, as a standalone piece of software that cost more money. So I can't remember how much it was, 275, I think, or 395, something. But it's, again, it's included as standard with LightWave 2026 built. You know, it comes with it. Basically, you'll get an icon on the desktop. It's fantastic. So,
all right, you want me to do another one for my spline bridge, or Sean, you want to take one?
No, do it.
So Sean's got 2 left to do. You want to do spline bridge?
I've got one
left for spline bridge. You want me to knock that one real quick, Sean, and then you can finish this out?
Yeah. Because then you're done. Then you can just literally lay back, start drinking, you know, generally cause mayhem. All right. So yeah. And then all the pressure's on Sean. We can then do this to Sean.
I'll be full screen.
All right, let me just real quickly here. And this is one of those things that it's not necessarily. I mean, this is a tool that everyone has had, but it's just we've added some stuff to it. So I'm just going to do something really, really silly and really, really simple here, and I'm just going to select these and say spline bridge. It's been one of those things that, again, just controls. So I'm just going to change my divisions. Now, the first thing that's easily noted is the way it does the divisions. Is it's got a transition in between. We now have a thing to align to curve, so it more appropriately sets those. You might want to have it the old way. You might want to have it the new way. Is a choice. But then as we come in here and we're starting to drag these handles, the handles themselves are a little bit larger, a little bit easier to hit. But again, it's one of those things that as you get to using these, if I hold down the control key, that actually keeps it straight. Because sometimes that's the control you want. If I hold down the shift key, it will keep them both at the same length. So again, that's part of the design. And then I can hold. Let's see, what was it? Shift and click in the middle, and I can add actually another handle that I can then come in. So maybe it's not going to be a straight bridge. Hold down shift and click again, and then do this. And then also, if I hold down the control key, I can break these handles. So it's just adding more control to an existing tool to make it a little bit more flexible and a little bit more creative, right? So
Actually, that's awesome. Actually, yeah, the
I mean,
changes on that are amazing.
seriously, it's one of those things that uh, I'm forever using. Excuse me, I'm forever using spline bridge, but having these additional little controls uh, really adds some really neat things to it. So
Yeah,
that
it's much better with the bigger handles as well. My God,
oh
that's
yeah, easier to hit. Very nice for that. So quick little demo of something that maybe went under the radar. Yes, I'll pop this up. Magic bevel. I use it too. I use it
yeah.
for quickly drawing out roads. I do roads a lot with magic bevel. But yeah, it's I'm quite pleased with the new little controls that were added there.
And actually, I mean, there's quite a few things like that in Model have been done, haven't there? Quite a few little tweaks and
Yeah, some
things.
little quality of life things, just kind of goes under the radar sometimes.
Just a quick comment back on Chronosculpt. Someone was saying, always, I remember it being very fast or faster than layout. It is super fast, and
Yes.
because it's not carrying across all the overhead, so it kind of it does its job, and it does that job exceptionally well. And it was fast before, it's even faster now, and it can handle really big data set really well.
Real fast here. This is one of the reasons why you're getting it tomorrow. Because yes, I'm putting everything in the UI and not hovering in the additional.
And
so
yes. And just imagine the discussions when we're talking about where things should go. No, I want it there. No, I want it there. And it's that's why Juice is a bit lower in the screen than normal. He's had the shit kicked out of him for no, it's all good. So
but yes,
you swore.
Yeah, we're get the HR flag out. But yeah, we're putting everything in the menus.
So really, although there's mask, tool, and cable, probably cable's worth showing after that last one, don't you think? Cable first?
Yep, go for it.
I think so.
Right, so
you say go for it, it's you doing it.
Oh, you're going to do bend first. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Bend tool. I thought I'd just quickly hit right mouse button, left mouse button with control. We're now locked at one axis. And obviously with these guides, you can pretty much predict where your curve's going to go. So that's that. I'm not going to bend it anymore because I've just let go and it resets the tool, which is a pain. But yeah, to be honest with you, I'd like to see this completely redone. Anyway, cable editor. In fact, I've got another one in there that shouldn't be there. That's dead. So yeah, some improvements for this. Actually, I'll only do a small segment. Yeah, so if I open a numeric panel, you now have these in your presets. So let's put one of those on that end, and oops, one of those on that end. And as you can see, they're too small because we got a very thick cable. Bend radius. Oh, there it is. Sorry, it's a 3mm cable, isn't it? There we go. So if I click enter on that, oops, confirm it and zoom in, you can see we got cables on there, or jacks, whatever you like to call them. And the cool thing is, when you reopen the tool, you can still play with it. It's non-destructive, basically. So you can rotate that round, do what you like. Bring that up there, have it plugged into something, and similar to what Deuce just showed, hold down the shift key. Oh, no, not shift key. Well, it was shift key, but something weird happened. we had an extra point. We can delete that with the right mouse. But Shift key should, if you click on the curve, is it Shift key? I put a help button in here so I can remember. Where is it? There it is. Where is it? No, it's not. Yeah, it's left mouse button. Okay. But anyway, you can now do that. So let's delete that, start again. Draw a new cable. Whoops.
Those presets, by the way, are stunning.
Oh, I ain't done yet. This profile. So we got a custom one here, and it opens up a little browser, which I need to hard code as well, which come later. And I've moved my folders, haven't I? Cable, where is it? There we go. Right, so if I zoom into this a little, as you can see, it's still a tube, and I've got a custom segment, which I think is A. Yep, hit enter on that, zoom in, and it couldn't find the image because it's in a different project folder. I do apologize about that, but it'll basically, you can create custom cable shapes and stuff, so that's all new. You know, you can actually, I'll do this one actually. It'll probably slow it down something chronic. Just bend it around the corner, and oh, it lost it.
Real quickly, while you're looking there, does this also add a weight map so that you can do bullet sims with it? Is it?
Yes. Yeah. There's weights on it for the two ends and stuff like that. And yeah, that's, you won't want to use bullet because you'll be simming the whole thing basically. But I'll get to that in a sec. Yeah, that cable. It's going to take a while because stupidly I didn't run a polygon reduction on this. It's actually a fully subdivided mesh. But the idea is in the center of these pipes, there's actually a 2-point polygon chain. And the idea is at some stage you'll be doing a layout plugin which will enable you to edit that and also apply dynamics to it. There we go, it's done. So I'll kill that and zoom in. Yeah, that mesh is too high to demo really, but I accidentally froze it. But as you can see, you can put in all sorts of weird custom cables.
So these can you add your own custom objects?
Yeah, that's what I've just done.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's what I thought.
So that will follow the path, and that's your cable. And they are mirrored as well. So yeah, that doesn't have any surfaces, but it will copy the surfaces over as well. And that's taking forever to delete. I probably shouldn't have picked that model because it's clunky. The other thing I fixed as well, which was some of the users on Discord pointed out, is that the collision wasn't working when you got a background object, which now, if I put that up there, that is Clyde Miller background, isn't it? It's probably because I'm off there. There you go, it's snapped to that. The cable will now snap to background objects. So you might want to, I could have sworn I fixed that bug. Why ain't that working? All right, my bad. Anyway, if I drag that one around, it will snap. You can see it snapping in the background there. So you can literally have your cable snap to the background object. Because what was happening is the original, it was snapping through and snapping to the reverse sides and then sometimes snapping to the top. So that's all fixed now. Trying to think what else I can show on this. Sorry, this is very unrehearsed. But there's a ton of we got obviously draw pipe. I'm going to turn the background object. Oh no, that's what it is. Yeah, you got draw pipe. but you also got a linear option for this, which is the same as pipe. And I've lost my handles. Okay, that's another little thing I need to look at. But yeah, you can draw cables in a linear pattern. In fact, let's start that tool again. Yeah, there should be a handle there for me. Okay, no worries. But yeah, like the pipe mode, that will also have yeah, because with pipe mode you got this little handle. Cable will have exactly as that, so you can, you know, adjust your radiuses on the bends.
That's cool. Actually, really.
Obviously, cool. I've probably got an earlier version of the plugin installed on here where it's, yeah, I was work in progress. Had I had a bit more time to check all this,
no.
I've got the wrong button installed, but it happens. But yeah, this is the pipe. It's fully customizable. The UV mats have been fixed, so they wrap around perfectly now. Yeah, there's more features coming. So yeah, that's something that I would have. Yeah, I did a lot of work for ABB, and that tends to be, you know, for water pumping devices and filters and all that sort of stuff. I would have killed for a tool like this at the time, because, you know, creating little pipelines, you know, it was an absolute nightmare.
Well, think of the Cummins stuff. How often we're, you know, adding pipes and moving pipes. Fantastic thing for that.
Yeah, and this will also snap to a background object as well, which I'm about to ruin it. There we go. Okay, it should if you're above it. No, this is an older version. I do apologise.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Right. Yeah.
Was there the question about sort of how you'd apply dynamics to it? You were saying don't use.
Oh yeah. If I draw a cable a sec, like that. Oh, we're still in that linear mode. The fact that was something else I've added, sag. So it will sag between cables. So you can create those little loops. Sorry, it's still snapping to the background there. So that's an option. But anyway, for dynamics, the idea is in layout, you've got this object here. Rather than simming the cable, it will sim this and then recreate the cable based on the settings. I deleted it, didn't I? No, I didn't. So yeah, the same code that recreates this mesh when you drag it around will rerun in layout. So as you animate these points and all that sort of stuff, you know, say for down here, you know, you got a ton of points. They will be your controllers for the sim. So you'll sim. I'm doing that waving my hands around thing again, and you can't see them. But yeah, you animate literally just the 2-point polygon chain, and it will automatically recalculate the tubes to match. It'll keep the exact same amount of divisions and stuff, so it maintains its length. So yeah, each one of these points would actually be a segment on the tube. Thinking way ahead of here, I haven't even written that side of the plugin yet, but that will be coming. So in other words, if you got this dangling on the back of a truck and it's bouncing up and down, these cables will start to swing. So yeah,
really nice. And I'm obviously, I know you've got the older version on there, but it's a fantastic tool. And the amount of customization on there is just brilliant. And I think the sag feature again, how often have you just doing set decoration and want things just to have a natural sag, and you just put them in, add that to it. Unbelievable time saver. Fantastic.
Yeah, and there's something I didn't show as well. You've got things that can join on. Not I've got them listed as hang on a second, I'm just opening a menu. Yeah, couplings. You could probably, because you can probably replace those with light bulbs. So if I actually grab a coupling, where's one? Yeah, we grab C. And we'll have 12. Oh, I need to edit first, don't I? Idiot. Actually, let's just draw one. Yeah, there you go. You could replace those with light bulbs, and those couplings, you could have a chain of lights on there. I really have chosen a bad example, but if you imagine the light bulbs, you don't have to have them two together. You could, basically create a Christmas tree lights, anything like that.
Yeah, God, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm still working on that, so that's.
Well, it's one of those things that what I was just thinking of was, couldn't you have like a, I don't know, maybe a point or just a triangle or something that you
you could
put in there, and just say instance to this surface, or
it's a bit like the pipe mode for all the nuts and bolts. You don't need to actually have the nuts and bolts. You can just have a single polygon that it instance onto using a short edge rotation.
I don't think you have anything like ready to go to show that, but I mean the description is.
I think this plugin's a bit old. I think I fired up a modeler. In fact, 30th of May. I do apologise.
No, but it's all good. It's all good because we kind of dropped on you about 3 hours ago. Yeah, can you mind showing that? And so well done. You're good. It's excellent. So the next unrehearsed item we want to show is the mask tool.
Yep, and I don't have a folder actually set up for that, so I'm just going to wing it.
Yay, winging.
Yeah, winging's good.
Yeah. So what you see there is some track points, which I'll just do here. Oops. Oh, no. I need to fix that as well, so you can just keep adding. So basically, I've added some track points, tracked them from this footage. And those are the points. And as you can see, that mask is pretty much sitting on there. But the thing is, this mask is being generated in real time. If I switch to this view, as those points move, that mask is being not deformed, it's being created each frame. So it's sort of, hang on, let's bring up the panel. That'd be even easier, wouldn't it? Oh, need to address that as well. So yeah, so basically with this, you select your points in order, click add selected, and it will create this rectangle around your points, joining them up. And you're probably wondering what these little blue ears are. Well, you might want to curve that shape, and the same as the other one, control, you can break the curve, and a little adjustment there as well. You can add more segments, so if you drag that out, you can see that's a nice smooth curve. 116, that was a lot. And then low polygon. But there's also a shader added to this, which I'm not sure whether I actually got. In fact, let's just do a load scene and see it. Take it back to where it was. Oh, those should have said actually, these are keyframeable. So, if I go to this frame, I can drag this, change its shape, and it will remember. See that?
That's excellent.
So, yeah, I'm not being funny. When you rotoscope and you need that adjustment sometimes. So, yeah, that's quite a handy little feature to have.
Is it possible to do more than one of those at the same time, or is it just one at a time?
Yeah, you just add another null object and slap the plugin on and select some more points, and off you go.
So basically, you track the scene, do multiple mats.
Yeah,
yeah, amazing. And yeah, sorry, but I didn't mean to interrupt. I know you're going to do something on the shading.
Let's just check VPR. Is this the new version or old version? Okay. Yep. We've also got a where is it? I think that's the one. Yep, that's the one. If I whack that into the color. Oh, need a UV map. It's probably not going to work until I move a frame. I should have prepared for this.
No.
Yeah, okay. Why aren't you doing it? Okay, what this tool's supposed to do, oh, there we go. What this tool will do is it'll actually create a soft, there's why it ain't working, soft edge at 0. You're not going to see that, are you? So just put it up to 200 and okay, this is probably because I deformed this. That UV map's been reinvented, but the idea is that's in fact, let's start again. Let's copy that. In fact, see if that makes it any better. Sometimes refreshing the UV. Yeah, it's not particularly good, is it? Right, let's reload that scene and start again. Was that one, wasn't it? So if you imagine you've plugged that into your transparency, select that, and that's 200 tiles. Yeah, that's all right. And now if we, oops. Yeah, okay. What it's supposed to do is that's supposed to create a soft edge completely around that UV. In fact, I know what I'm doing. Why is it the last one is the one that goes a bit pear-shaped?
Oh, don't worry. It's all good. I mean, yeah, it's all good.
No, I'll hide it. There we go. But yeah, again, this might be an older version. What should happen is it's actually creating a soft. In fact, I can tell it is because of the triangles in the corners. What it does is it creates a mask, so you can use this as a soft edge, so you can fade the mask around the edges. So if there is any slight movement, then it's cured. But yeah, I do apologise for that not being fully there, but that will be 100% working when we get there. In fact, it'll probably be working in your builds, not mine.
Yeah. I think you probably, because you've got a.
I've got a older build, and it's the one I've been tinkering with something else. So yeah,
there we go. Another unrehearsed feature. Excellent.
Well, it's also it comes with the territory of having a developer demo, because it is one of those things. It's like you just said. I mean, he probably has 7 different versions of the same tool, and it's like, which one did I grab? So it's all good. It's all good.
I think the main thing there is the soft edge does work, and because I've seen it, and I think the key thing for me is the multiple. The multiple matting is what makes that also unbelievably good, because with scenes like that you need mats, and it's traditionally one of those things which is a pain in the bum to sort of then do. The tracking is great. We know the tracking works brilliantly, but then doing the mats that work with the track is always painful. But that makes it remarkably easy, and with the soft edging, it means it will blend in on the final render perfectly. So yeah, so it is again another great addition, I think. So I think that's I think we've done everything we planned on doing. And the really funny thing was we didn't do it in an hour.
Nope.
We did it in 2 hours.
Someone actually called it. Someone actually at the very beginning of the thing said, "You watch, it'll go 2 hours." And it's like, well, yeah.
Yeah. So we blew that again. But on the upside, it's not 6 hours like last time. Right. Yeah.
One fast thing I will point out, because I see the question. Yes, the VPR memory leak is fixed. Not only fixed in 2026, but also fixed in 2025.0.5. So that'll be the thing. So yay.
So I think, shall I summarize? Are we good?
Nah, don't summarize. What the hell? Let him rewind the video and watch it from the beginning.
I want to get something.
Yeah, I mean, there is a stack of new things we've shown you there, which are, again, really good. Some of them are just things that were there that we hadn't demoed before, but it is a staggeringly good update, this, for LightWavers, old LightWavers who haven't been using it or want to come back. There's never been a better time, and it's fun. There's some unbelievably good tools in there. The, sort of, obviously there's the Ripper 2, there's the Moto Rig is unbelievably good. Thor, Snow, the 3D tracker, the 2D tracker, the matting, all the other little tools like the cable maker. They're just unbelievable things. And the spider web, it's fantastic. And people are already doing things with the spider web I hadn't even envisaged, which is great. The Ivy tool, just a fantastic set of features in there. And obviously today we've just shown you some of the ones that we hadn't really spent time showing before. I remember Chronosculpt as well. I think people are going to love that and love using that. I remember Lighttree, for anybody doing the architectural visualization or doing scenes with a stack of lights. That is going to make a huge difference to your rendering output and speed of putting that together. So I think that's pretty much it. 2026 is out tomorrow. Juice is doing some things with the menus, just finishing those things. 25.05 is out, I think, tomorrow as well. Juice, is that right?
Yes.
I think
yes.
At the same time, yeah. So that's both of those out there. That is the end of the 25.05 cycle. So that's it. That's updated, done. That's where it is. 26 now. There's still some more features to come in 26, which will be coming. I remember the updates for 26. You're not paying for any more. The other features and other tidy ups, any other bugs we find, we fix those. So there'll be a 26.01, 26.02, 26.03, and so on. So all of those are included in your upgrade price. And for anybody who hasn't upgraded, hopefully, either on what you've seen today, or if you go back and look at some of the other videos of some of the other features, like the Moto Rig and Thor and all those sort of things, you're going to want to get it. And yeah, I think we're super proud of 26, and I think it's been a lot of fun getting that done. And again, another call out again for the open beta guys who put so much effort in. Extraordinary and unbelievably positive experience. Those things you don't know how out of control it's going to get, and I have to say it was remarkable. And it wasn't just about debugging, it was about things that we just hadn't thought about, and some unbelievably good features were added because of the open beta. So continue that as we produce the versions now. We're not going to close that channel. So if you can get in there, see any other things you think should be improved or something else we've missed entirely, welcome to sort of get involved and sort of add those ideas. Remember, try to keep it as positive as possible. The guys work really hard on this stuff, and so it's the way it's been handled so far by everybody on that open beta has been brilliant. For any new people, again, if you are only just getting LightWave or about to get LightWave, get involved with that open beta thing as well. So I think, just to be clear, 26 is tomorrow. 25.05, the last build of that version will be tomorrow. We'll have 26.01 is coming fairly soon. We're already working on it. So remember, again, on that, treat it like an open beta initially, and if there's anything wrong with it, we'll fix it. I hope you enjoyed it. We've absolutely loved the last few years getting here, but this one was super fun to work on, and we hope you love playing with it and create some unbelievably good shots with it. And if any of you have time and you particularly love a feature and want to try to show off how you're using it, send in the videos. They're really important to us. And any work you're doing, paying work, be it doesn't matter whether it's in TV, film, architectural, gaming, anything at all, show us what you're doing. We love to see it. It's inspiring, and other users will be inspired by those things too. So try to get that stuff into us. It's fantastic. So we'll be coming back in the next few weeks with some sessions on specific tools. Probably do one on Motor Rig again, and Thor and Ivy and all those sort of things. So we'll do some sessions on those, and rather than a big 6-hour one, we'll try to keep those to 1 hour, a bit like today. 2 hours. Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry we went over by an hour, and for all of you who haven't eaten or got up early to watch it, apologies. Yeah, really glad. I don't know how many people turned up in there. How many people on the chat now?
We pretty much maintained right around 120 people for the entire 2 hours.
It's good. So normally, obviously, a lot of people then watch it online afterwards.
Absolutely, they'll watch the replay.
Yeah, I mean, literally thousands of views on those. So we're super happy about that as well. So have a really good rest of your weekend, and hope the weather's good where you are, and hope your country hasn't been invaded by any of us. Anyway, yeah, thank you. Yeah, really good. That's it.
Guys,
good.
Appreciate all of you.